Imagine biting into something rich, crunchy, and addictive. And instead of raising your blood sugar, it actually helps control it. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you there are certain nuts, and even one that's not technically a nut, that could improve insulin sensitivity, protect your heart, support your nerves, and even help with weight loss? Yep, they exist. But not all nuts are created equal, and some can actually do more harm than good if you're not careful. In this video, we're revealing the top 10 nuts every diabetic should know about, including the one most people completely overlook. Trust me, you're going to want to watch till the end, because the last one might just blow your mind. First on list, almonds. Almonds, known scientifically as Prunus dulcis, are an excellent choice for people managing diabetes. They have a very low glycemic index between 0 and 15, meaning they have little to no impact on your blood sugar levels. Even better, studies show that almonds may improve insulin sensitivity by up to 17% when consumed regularly alongside a balanced diet. In just 1 ounce, about 23 almonds, you get around 164 calories, 6 grams of protein, 6 grams of carbs, and 3.5 grams of fiber. That's nearly 14% of your daily fiber needs in a small handful. Almonds also contain about 14 grams of healthy fats, mostly monounsaturated, which help reduce inflammation and support heart health. With 76 milligrams of magnesium per ounce, they cover about 18% of your daily magnesium needs, crucial for blood sugar control and insulin action. The benefits don't stop at blood sugar. Almonds are rich in vitamin E, providing 37% of your daily requirement in one serving. This antioxidant helps protect the eyes and may lower the risk of diabetic retinopathy. Their anti-inflammatory properties also support kidney health and reduce the chances of nerve damage. Some studies even suggest almonds may aid in wound healing, which is often slower in diabetics. A smart serving size is about 1 ounce per day. It's enough to enjoy the health benefits without going overboard on calories. However, people with nut allergies or a history of kidney stones should be cautious due to the oxalate content. Almonds fit easily into a diabetic-friendly diet. Sprinkle them on oatmeal, toss them in a salad, or enjoy a handful on their own. And here's a surprising fact. Eating almonds before a high-carb meal can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. So no, nuts aren't too fatty for diabetics. They're actually one of the smartest choices you can make. Almonds are impressive, no doubt, but the next nut on our list doesn't just help with blood sugar. It may actually protect your brain. Curious? Let's crack it open. Second on list, walnuts. Walnuts, known scientifically as Juglans regia, are a powerful ally for people living with diabetes. They have a low glycemic index and are naturally low in carbs, which means they don't cause blood sugar spikes. In fact, studies suggest that including walnuts in your daily diet may improve insulin sensitivity by up to 20%, making it easier for your body to manage glucose levels more effectively. Just 1 ounce of walnuts, about 14 halves, gives you around 185 calories, 4 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber, and 18 grams of fat. Now that fat might sound high, but over 90% of it comes from healthy unsaturated fats, including a rare and valuable type called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. That's a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, and 1 ounce gives you about 2.5 grams, which is over 100% of the daily ALA recommendation. That's big news for your heart, especially if you're diabetic, since the risk of heart disease is already higher. But the benefits don't stop at the heart. Walnuts are rich in antioxidants and compounds that help reduce inflammation, protecting your nerves, kidneys, and eyes from the long-term complications of diabetes. Some research even points to walnuts helping with brain health and memory, which can also be affected by long-term blood sugar imbalances. A good daily amount is about 1 ounce. They're calorie-dense, so more isn't necessarily better. And while rare, some people may have walnut allergies, so be cautious if you've never had them before. Walnuts are easy to enjoy. Toss them into your morning oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or chop them into a salad for a buttery crunch. Just make sure they're raw or dry roasted without added sugar or salt. And here's a fun fact. Many still believe eating high-fat foods like walnuts is bad for diabetics. But studies show that regularly eating walnuts may help reduce belly fat and even lower HbA1c levels. So instead of avoiding them, diabetics should feel confident adding walnuts to their everyday diet. They're doing better than most people realize. Walnuts might be the brainy nut, but the one coming up? It's known for crushing hunger, balancing blood sugar, and might even help with weight loss. Ready to meet it? Third on list, pistachios. Pistachios, known by their scientific name, Pistachia vera, are a delicious, vibrant green nut that offers more than just flavor. They come with real benefits for people managing diabetes. With a low glycemic index of around 15, pistachios won't cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. In fact, research shows that eating pistachios regularly can lower fasting blood sugar and even improve HbA1c levels by up to 9%, which is a big deal for anyone trying to keep their diabetes in check. 1 ounce of pistachios, about 49 nuts, contains roughly 159 calories, 6 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber, and 13 grams of fat. Around 90% of that fat is the healthy kind, made up of monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. Pistachios also pack in key minerals like magnesium and potassium, both of which support better blood pressure and blood sugar control. You'll also get a good dose of vitamin B6, which plays a role in glucose metabolism and helps keep your nervous system healthy. But here's where pistachios really shine. They help fight inflammation and oxidative stress, which are two major problems in long-term diabetes. They also support heart health, reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, and improve blood vessel function. That means better circulation, which is important for avoiding diabetic complications like nerve damage and poor wound healing. A healthy serving is about 1 ounce per day. While pistachios are a great choice, they're often sold salted or flavored, so choose unsalted and unroasted versions whenever possible. Also, be mindful of portion sizes because it's easy to overeat them, especially when they're already shelled. You can enjoy pistachios as a simple snack, toss them into salads, use them as a crust for baked fish or chicken, or even blend them into smoothies for a rich texture. And here's a fun myth to bust. Many people think pistachios are too fattening for diabetics, but the truth is, studies show that pistachios may actually help reduce belly fat and support weight loss goals. So instead of avoiding them, pistachios should absolutely have a spot in a smart, diabetes-friendly diet. Pistachios are tiny warriors, but up next is a nut so rich and buttery, you'd never guess it's secretly working overtime to fight inflammation and lower cholesterol. Fourth on list, pecans. Pecans, scientifically known as Carya illinoinensis, are more than just a classic ingredient in holiday pies. They're actually a smart, nutrient-dense food for people managing diabetes. With a glycemic index close to 0, pecans have virtually no impact on blood sugar levels. What's more impressive is that regular consumption of pecans has been linked to improved insulin sensitivity and better blood sugar control. Some studies even show a drop in fasting insulin levels by up to 10% when pecans are included in a balanced diet. In a single ounce, about 19 pecan halves, you're getting around 196 calories, 3 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of fiber. That fiber helps slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. Pecans also deliver about 20 grams of fat, but don't let that scare you. Over 90% of it is heart-healthy unsaturated fat, which supports cardiovascular health, a key concern for diabetics. You'll also find zinc, manganese, magnesium, and antioxidants that reduce inflammation and protect blood vessels. Pecans play a protective role in diabetic health. They help reduce oxidative stress, which is linked to complications like kidney damage and nerve issues. Their healthy fat profile supports brain and eye health too, areas often affected by long-term diabetes. Plus, pecans may help lower LDL cholesterol, which is especially important since diabetics are more prone to heart disease. The ideal serving size is about 1 ounce per day. Because they are calorie-dense, moderation is key. And just like other nuts, pecans should be eaten raw or dry roasted without added sugar or salt. Avoid candied or glazed pecans, which can undo all the good stuff. Pecans fit beautifully into a diabetic-friendly lifestyle. Sprinkle them over salads, add them to oatmeal or yogurt, or blend them into smoothies for a rich, buttery flavor. And here's a myth worth busting. Some think pecans are only for desserts or special occasions. But the truth is, when eaten the right way, pecans are a powerful everyday food for people with diabetes, offering flavor, balance, and serious health benefits in every bite. Quick question before next nut. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments. We'd love to see how far the diabetes healthcare community reaches. Fifth on list, cashews. Cashews, known scientifically as Anacardium occidental, are often misunderstood when it comes to diabetes. Many people assume they're off limits because they're creamier and slightly sweeter than other nuts. But here's the truth. When eaten in moderation, cashews can absolutely be part of a diabetes-friendly diet. With a moderate glycemic index of around 25, they have a gentle impact on blood sugar levels. Studies have shown that adding cashews to meals may help reduce blood pressure and even improve HDL, good cholesterol in people with type 2 diabetes. 1 ounce of cashews, about 18 nuts, provides around 157 calories, 5 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and nearly 1 gram of fiber. They contain about 12 grams of fat, most of which is the healthy, unsaturated kind. You'll also get about 20% of your daily magnesium, a mineral that plays a big role in insulin function and blood sugar regulation. Cashews also deliver small amounts of iron and zinc, which help support nerve health and immune function, two areas that can be impacted by diabetes over time. While cashews aren't the lowest in carbs, they're still a much better choice than processed snacks or sugary treats. Their healthy fats can help slow down digestion, reducing the chances of a blood sugar spike after eating. And because they're naturally creamy, they can be blended into sauces or dips to create satisfying, plant-based meals that support better glucose control. The key is portion control. A healthy serving is about 1 ounce per day. Because cashews are calorie-dense and slightly higher in carbs than other nuts, it's important not to overdo it. Also, avoid roasted cashews with added salt or sugar. Those versions can work against your goals. You can enjoy cashews as a snack, stir them into a veggie stir-fry, blend them into cashew cream for a dairy-free sauce, or toss them into a grain bowl for texture and flavor. And here's a common myth. People often say cashews are too sugary for diabetics, but in reality their natural sweetness comes from a mix of healthy fats and amino acids, not added sugar. When eaten in moderation, cashews offer both pleasure and health, proving that you don't have to give up great taste to keep your blood sugar in check. Sixth on list, Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts, known scientifically as Bertholletia excelsa, are a rich, buttery nut that might not be as common in everyday snacks, but they pack a serious nutritional punch, especially for people with diabetes. With a very low glycemic index and minimal carbs, Brazil nuts won't spike your blood sugar. In fact, research shows that daily consumption of Brazil nuts may help reduce fasting glucose levels and even lower LDL cholesterol by up to 25%, which is a huge win for anyone at risk of heart complications from diabetes. A 1 ounce serving, just 6 to 8 Brazil nuts, contains around 187 calories, 4 grams of protein, 3 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 19 grams of fat. But what truly sets Brazil nuts apart is their selenium content. One single Brazil nut contains more than 100% of your daily selenium needs. Selenium is a powerful antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation, protect against oxidative stress, and support thyroid function, which can affect blood sugar metabolism. For diabetics, that antioxidant protection is especially important for the kidneys, nerves, and blood vessels. Brazil nuts may also support better wound healing and reduce markers of inflammation like C-reactive protein, which is often elevated in people with diabetes. Plus, the healthy fats in Brazil nuts can improve satiety, which helps prevent overeating and can support weight management, a key part of diabetes care. Because they're so nutrient-dense, especially in selenium, the key is not to overdo it. Stick to just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day. Too much selenium over time can lead to toxicity, so a little goes a long way. Also, as with other tree nuts, allergy risk is something to be aware of. Brazil nuts are easy to enjoy. Just a couple with breakfast, blended into a smoothie, or crumbled on top of a salad. And here's something most people don't know. Brazil nuts may help reduce oxidative stress more effectively than vitamin E supplements in some cases. So while they may not be the most popular nut in the pantry, they're definitely one of the most powerful. For people with diabetes, Brazil nuts offer a rare mix of flavor, richness, and real healing potential, all in just a few bites. Seventh on list, macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts, scientifically known as Macadamia integrifolia, are creamy, crunchy, and surprisingly diabetic-friendly. Despite being high in fat, they have a glycemic index close to zero, meaning they won't raise your blood sugar at all. In fact, studies have shown that incorporating macadamia nuts into your diet can help reduce insulin resistance and lower overall inflammation, both critical for managing diabetes effectively. In just 1 ounce, around 10 to 12 nuts, you get about 204 calories, 2 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and 2.5 grams of fiber. The real standout is the fat content, 21 grams with over 80% of that coming from monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil. These fats are known to support heart health, improve cholesterol levels, and reduce belly fat, which is especially important for people with type 2 diabetes. Macadamias also provide small amounts of magnesium, manganese, and thiamine, nutrients that support nerve function and metabolism. What makes macadamia nuts even more appealing is their powerful anti-inflammatory effect. Chronic inflammation is at the root of many diabetic complications, including kidney issues, nerve damage, and cardiovascular problems. Eating macadamias regularly may help ease that inflammation and protect against oxidative stress, which contributes to diabetic aging at the cellular level. Because they're so rich, a little goes a long way. Stick to about 1 ounce per day. They're calorie dense, and overeating them can sneak in more energy than you need, especially if you're trying to manage your weight. Also, like other tree nuts, they can trigger allergies in some individuals. Macadamias are incredibly versatile. Enjoy them on their own as a luxurious snack, crush them into salads, blend them into creamy sauces, or even bake them into low-carb treats. And here's a surprising truth. People often avoid macadamias because of their fat content, thinking it's bad for blood sugar. But studies show the opposite. These healthy fats may actually help lower HbA1c and improve blood lipid profiles. So don't let their rich texture fool you. Macadamia nuts are not just safe for diabetics. They're a smooth, satisfying way to support your health from the inside out. Eighth on list, hazelnuts. Hazelnuts, scientifically known as Corylus avellana, are often associated with chocolate spreads and desserts, but on their own, they're a quiet powerhouse for people living with diabetes. With a very low glycemic index and minimal net carbs, hazelnuts won't spike your blood sugar. In fact, studies have shown that eating hazelnuts regularly can improve fasting blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support better insulin function, making them a smart addition to a diabetic-friendly lifestyle. A 1 ounce serving, about 21 whole hazelnuts, contains roughly 178 calories, 4 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs, and 2.7 grams of fiber. You'll also get about 17 grams of fat, most of it from monounsaturated fats, which are great for heart health. For people with diabetes, that's a big deal, since heart disease is one of the most common and serious complications of long-term high blood sugar. Hazelnuts also deliver around 28% of your daily vitamin E needs in just 1 ounce, which helps protect your blood vessels, nerves, and eyes from damage. Hazelnuts contain important minerals like magnesium and manganese, both of which play a role in regulating blood sugar and improving the body's ability to use insulin efficiently. Plus, their antioxidant compounds help protect against oxidative stress, which can lead to nerve damage, slow wound healing, and kidney problems in diabetics over time. A safe, healthy serving is about 1 ounce per day. They're rich and satisfying, so a little goes a long way. Just be sure to choose raw or dry roasted hazelnuts. Avoid those coated in sugar or chocolate, as that can cancel out the benefits quickly. You can toss hazelnuts into a morning yogurt bowl, blend them into smoothies, grind them into flour for baking, or even use them to crush chicken or fish. And here's a myth worth busting. Many people assume hazelnuts are just for sweets or fancy recipes. But in truth, they're loaded with nutrients that can support better blood sugar control, nerve health, and heart protection. When enjoyed in their natural form, hazelnuts are more than just a seasonal treat. They're a daily win for diabetics. Ninth on list, pine nuts. Pine nuts, scientifically known as Pinus spp, are tiny buttery seeds that often go unnoticed in everyday diets, but they offer some surprising benefits for people managing diabetes. Despite their small size, they pack a nutritional punch and have a glycemic index so low it's virtually negligible. That means pine nuts won't spike your blood sugar, and research shows they may actually help improve insulin sensitivity when eaten as part of a balanced, nutrient-rich diet. 1 ounce of pine nuts, about 167 kernels, contains roughly 191 calories, 4 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and just under 1 gram of fiber. The fat content is around 19 grams, and nearly 90% of that is healthy unsaturated fat. Pine nuts are also a good source of magnesium and zinc, which support healthy glucose metabolism and help regulate insulin function. One unique compound found in pine nuts is pinolenic acid, which may help suppress appetite by stimulating hormones that signal fullness, helping with weight control, a key part of diabetes management. Beyond blood sugar, pine nuts support cardiovascular health, which is especially important for diabetics. They help lower LDL cholesterol and may improve endothelial function, which is all about keeping your blood vessels flexible and healthy. That's good news for your heart, kidneys, eyes, and even your skin, all areas that can be affected by long-term diabetes. A safe and effective serving size is about 1 ounce per day. Because they are calorie dense, it's best not to overeat them. And as with all nuts and seeds, raw or dry roasted options without salt or added oils are your best bet. Allergies to pine nuts are rare but possible, so it's worth being cautious if you've never had them before. They're incredibly versatile. Toss them into salads, mix them into quinoa or brown rice bowls, sprinkle them over roasted veggies, or blend them into homemade pesto for a blood sugar-friendly meal. And here's something most people don't realize. Pine nuts aren't just a garnish. Their healthy fats and appetite-suppressing compounds can help reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes and prevent overeating. So while they may be small, pine nuts are mighty allies in the fight for better diabetic health. We've saved the weirdest and possibly the most powerful for last. This final one isn't even a nut, but it's packed with fiber, natural sweetness, and blood sugar benefits most people have never heard of. 10th on the list, tiger nuts. Tiger nuts, despite their name, aren't actually nuts at all. They're small root vegetables, also known as Cyperus esculentus. But don't let that technicality fool you. These chewy, slightly sweet tubers are incredibly beneficial for people with diabetes. With a low glycemic index and high fiber content, tiger nuts help slow down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, reducing post-meal spikes and supporting more stable blood sugar levels throughout the day. In fact, studies show tiger nuts may help improve insulin sensitivity and reduce blood glucose levels over time. A 1 ounce serving of tiger nuts offers around 120 calories, 2 grams of protein, 19 grams of carbs, and about 10 grams of fiber. Yes, that's nearly 40% of your daily fiber needs in just one handful. That high fiber content is what makes them so special for diabetics. It helps keep digestion slow and steady, prevents sudden sugar highs and crashes, and supports healthy gut bacteria, which also plays a role in glucose metabolism. Tiger nuts are also rich in resistant starch, which acts like soluble fiber and has been linked to improved insulin response. Beyond blood sugar, tiger nuts offer heart protective benefits. They contain monounsaturated fats similar to those found in olive oil, and they're a good source of magnesium, potassium, and iron, nutrients that support circulation, nerve health, and energy levels, all of which can be affected by long-term diabetes. Stick to about 1 ounce per day, especially if you're just starting to add fiber-rich foods to your diet. Too much too fast can lead to bloating. Also, while tiger nuts are generally safe, they're dense in carbs, so portion control matters, especially if you're tracking your daily intake. You can enjoy tiger nuts raw, soaked overnight for easier chewing, roasted as a crunchy snack, or even ground into flour for baking. And here's something fun to know. Many people assume their natural sweetness means tiger nuts are sugary or off limits for diabetics. But it's the fiber, not sugar, that gives them that sweet taste. So tiger nuts aren't just safe, they're a unique, natural way to nourish your body support gut health, and keep blood sugar steady, all while giving your taste buds something new to love. And there you have it, tiny bites with huge benefits. Whether it's almonds, walnuts, or even the unexpected tiger nut, the right choices can make a powerful difference in your diabetes journey. So which one are you adding to your daily routine? Let us know in the comments. We love hearing from you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs it, and hit that subscribe button for more science-backed, easy-to-understand tips just like this. This is Diabetes Healthcare, where smart choices meet real results. Until next time, take care, stay healthy, and keep moving forward.